mute your mic when you come in, so at least you won't disturb the recording that we have later.
But if they come in later, how are they supposed to know that they're not supposed to mute?
Oh, I'll just text it in the in chat here. Yeah, standard line. And then I'll tell them if they have questions, you can just write up the questions now, and then we can ask during the course of talk.
What is your plan at the time?
Sorry?
What is the time end? Not even start yet.
Maybe 10 o'clock we wait for another like 2-3 minutes and see how many more people coming in, and then after that we can do the start. And then I'll do a slight intro for all the team. You guys can give some background of how long you been doing 3D printing, what sort of 3D printing have been doing, whether is it like trading consumables, doing sales of printers, or actually doing 3D printing works and those things. A short intro, maybe like 1-2 minutes, and then we can start talk. We keep it casual. We keep things casual. The idea is to engage the players in 3D printing, because basically a lot of times, right, the other bigger companies have lobbies. They've got people going in to the government telling, oh, we need this. The associations are there to help them. But the smaller SMEs, right, nowhere to voice out. Especially people like us. We are also considered like support for all these businesses. Sometimes like the businesses need certain fabrication. They don't want big quantity. They want small quantity. They look for us, design works and all that. If you cannot access your work, right, your workplace, how can you support all these businesses? Some of them may be essential services. So so it's just like we have an outlet, we have a place for us to talk about all these things, so that we can think of ideas, how to overcome this. Especially like now we're going to have our MAMA, right, the Malaysia Additive Association. This one can help us to come up with ideas and plan how to work towards the goals to achieve, to set the targets, to set our to set our objective, right, for 2020 and 2021, 2022, right? How to support the SMEs, especially in this business, in this 3D printing business. So hopefully it can help, And as you mentioned just now, right, how long will it take to talk, right? No one. Because I guess because the conversation can go quite long, so we just take it casual, we take it casual. Whatever the public, the people coming in still have questions, right? We try to talk about it, try to try to share what we have.
Zip coming in already.
All right, guys.
Morning, Zip.
Yeah, morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Sorry, busy.
So I'll type out some things. Morning, guys.
Hilmi dekat rumah ke?
Rumah.
Semua pakai itu background semua.
Background bedroom lah. So I have to change.
So yeah, I guess now it's around 10:02. We can start. I think we got quite a good number of people here, around 10.
25,
25.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't read. Yeah. 20 plus. I mean, 2 screens like that, maybe 15 plus minus the speakers and more. So good morning to everyone. Hope you had your breakfast already, if not, you can have your coffee, you can bring around and have a listen. So basically, this Saturday morning, right, what we want to do is we like to do sharing on what's happening with the SME business for 3D printing. So what I did is I tried to gather some of the players. It's a bit tough because there's so many players in the market doing 3D printing, and if you have too many people in the forum, right, it'll be too long. Check out it'll be hours and hours because there's so many things we can talk about. So I thought maybe this is the first session. We can do 2 or 3 people. We tried to call a few more others, but they declined because maybe too early in the morning. They're busy. So it extended the next few people. So yeah, I tried to keep it like very random. It's not all in 3D printing. It could be some are doing trading, some are doing business of the consumables, and some are services. So at least we can see a very distributed impact. We can see what's actually happening throughout this business in 3D printing, which is not really very openly talked about in the news. So at least we have a platform here we can talk about, we can share, and hopefully we can catch some wind. People can understand the lifestyle that we are having. So thanks again for everyone who joined us this Saturday morning, to spend this Saturday morning. Here I have together with us 3 speakers, 3 people that I managed to have join. First one here on the poster you can see is Bruce. Bruce Mui is from B3D-Online. He's doing 3D printing services, right? And you do a lot of printer setups and all, right?
Yep.
And he's based in Bangi. And the next one on upline is we have is Hilmi. Hilmi, many would know him because he's very famous, superstar,
Hi guys.
in the 3D printing world. So he's a co-founder, the owner for Pebblereka. He's based in Sunway. They do a lot of 3D printing, selling the 3D printers and consumables. And I believe they started quite some time. You guys also started quite some time ago, right?
Yeah.
I think 5-6 years.
Yeah, same like miniature 7 years, almost 7 years.
7 years, yeah. And then we got Zip or Jeep Imlan from AA 3D Technologies. Now it's already a Senyan Berhad. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you shifted to a new location, right? In the Shah Alam Technology Park there.
Yeah, around there lah.
Nice. How's the setup? Okay. So, Navis.
Not much but already moved all the item here.
The important item.
Yeah.
So the meeting that the chat we have here is going to be casual, casual talk, about some things. I'll put some questions to you guys, and from there we have a casual talk about it. There's no right, there's no wrong. We just have a point of view of what's happening. And if for those listening, right, if you have any questions or whatever, right, that you like to post, do type out in the in-call message there. Then we can try to answer as much questions as we can. So this video will be recorded, and then later we'll be putting up onto YouTube for everyone to see. I tried to set up the live to link up the live with the Meet, and having problem with the issues. I can't click go live, so we'll just have to do it on Google Meet only.
Okay.
So I'll pass the first introduction talk to Bruce. Introduce yourself and to the people that attended today about your company. Right?
Okay.
Over to you.
Good morning, everyone who joined. 35 people around. It's interesting. There were people here around it to see. Well, 3D about myself, Bruce here. Not Lee, not any others. Just Bruce Mui, okay, or Bruce only. You can call B3D, Build 3D, or Bruce 3D, whatever you like. So I'm doing the 3D printing since 2014 as well. Just around almost 7 years already. Since from start, it's like selling machine, building parts. Then until now, it's mainly doing for the product design and building service. And also we develop our own product to sell it. Now it's around 35 SKU for our own. Yeah, this is the quick introduction from myself. And then pass to Hilmi.
Thank you.
Hi, morning, guys. So my name is Hilmi, 40 years old. Has been in 3D printing for 7 years back, 2014. Prior to that, I worked in oil and gas industry for 12 years. So remembering the day that there were only few 3D printing companies in Malaysia during that time, MakerZone was organizing event. So our first event was Mind Valley, which we participated along with some other 3D printing companies such as Eichler, 3D Printers Ramrahat, IME, and MakerZone. It was really exciting competitive scenario as it was our first event along with our competitor. So what inspired us to start this business was a YouTube video by 3D System. So I passed to Aziz.
Hi, I'm Aziz, or some people just call me Ajib or something like that. Okay, I'm from AA3D Technology. I had just started 2018, the one of the young player in the industry. I started started why I started. I just follow people to start the business, something like that. Yeah, pass away to Cheng.
All right. So thanks guys for the introduction. So yeah, you can see right. MCO has been extended now to EMCO now, which is more restriction than the previous FMCO. And previously also we find that a lot of most of our friends, right, the businesses also have to shut down, have to close, you can't run the business, right? So I'd like to ask, like from the perspective of you guys, right, as a service printing provider, you provide the services to do 3D print, right? How challenging is it throughout this period? Any one of you can answer, who would like to go first? You find any challenges, and also if you want to answer in BM or English, fine. We can make it casual, no problem. Yeah.
I think the service started to dip down since the first MCO, when people start getting the printer, starting the service, charging the service for 10 cents per gram, and now I think I've seen 5 cents per gram. That's
What?
to say.
5 cents, right? From
I don't
Shopee?
know how they can handle that such price.
Oh, okay. I don't notice that there is a 5 cent. I just heard someone say that is 10 cent. So like me, you see, I'm not really checked for all the competition happening out there, because I think if the thing they're doing like this is the wrong way. First thing is that they can't really works on the business something, just work on some simple mathematics. So they maybe just come out to not for money. They just come out to grab the review or something, and the price may not really 5 cents. So don't try not to worry too much on the so-called price war kind of thing. They're not really charging that low if you try to assess them. Even so, that if they're really charging that low, they can't survive that long in future as well. So what I think is that for this short 3D printing service in the MCO, for most of the desktop printer owner that can simply work at home or something, that would be it's still easier, can move home. By the way, as if you got bring all the printer home or not. Hey, Zip, I did.
My printer is all on the ground floor of my house.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. So at least you can bring something home to work on compared to
my
other.
office is actually on the ground floor.
Oh, I see. Then
I live in the factory.
Then you live in manufacturing.
Yeah, I live on the first floor.
Give me fine. I live in workshop because of the MCO. No, like these kind of cases, because we are not. You can say 3D printing could be inside any manufacturing. Essential also can, if you want to say, but I don't really think of apply any meaty thing, because we are not a big company, and machine is more than people, right? So one or two guys can access to the machine if it works. So I think that the MCO not really heavy impact to the small business, but the order side, if they say the customer finds you, they will affect a little bit more, because when your customer don't have money, that affect to so many areas. So that when your customer don't have money, or your customer company, a factory that cannot open, so their order will be slow. That's why all the so-called printing on demand service, the orders will be lower down. Like mine, I think is like, yeah, they got lower down by 20-30% as well. But I don't really worry about that, because we work in other way. In last year, early last year, we just start to work in other ways. So yeah, how about Hilmi? Is your side? I see you got more big machines. It should be harder to bring it home, right?
So like us, our printing service is not much. It's constitute about like maybe 10% of our whole company revenue. So, however, our company does impact as much as we serve B2B market a lot compared to B2C market. Most of our customers are SMEs, IPTA, IPS, as well as industries. So we are providing additive manufacturing solutions. So we are unable to deliver goods ordered. We are unable to invoice. We are unable with logistic issue, inconsistent cash flow, and etc. But most of our customer in industrial side, they notice that they realize the importance of the technology, as with the MCO, having a machine which are portable, easy to operate, office floor friendly, make it suitable for them to bring their machine at home and then operate for R&D or prototyping.
Okay.
So overall, would you say that the MCO has a positive, or what would you say is a negative impact to your business?
I'm in the middle. For me,
Hilmi can go first.
For me, I'm in the middle, because for services quite difficult, because most of our machine are huge, big, so very heavy. So we have to sometimes sneak into the office and then run the machine and went back. So but for product sales, it affect us so much, because we have to follow the customer availability. So example like IPTA and IPS, they are closed, so we can't do much. We have to wait for the MCO to lift up. But for industry like factories, they still operating. They have the MITI approval to operate. So sometimes they need consumable, they need a machine, they need services for their machine. So we are unable to cater their request, because we don't have that MITI approval letter.
What about like shipping in? I know a lot of the printers are like imported in from overseas. Yeah. Do you find that now importing these machines have a longer time now? Is it a more hassle, or do you think it's still the same process?
It's not much different, but in a way, the pricing for logistics, especially the freight charges, increased by 30%. Especially air freight. Air freight sometimes goes increase by double. So
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But local wise, I think that the logistic one is one of the business keep growing a lot, because everyone using, no choice, have to be used.
Even near 10 km, we still use postage now.
Yeah, 10 km. I'm not right. Like short one, urgent one. I found that I got a lot of customer always urgent, so I use Mr. Speedy a lot, and so far look like it's the cheapest one, but still expensive. But use too much now.
So Jake, what do you think that MCO has impacted, the negative, positive onto your business?
I think since my customer before MCO is mostly on industrial, doing R&D and product development. I think it's cover about 50% of the revenue at that time. So it's dropped like to now about 20%, I think. The first MCO is dropped to 0%. Now it's a
Oh,
bit up from the industry side.
Still
Oh.
considered like a middle bet lah, because you
Yeah,
drop your
so-
business drop, right?
So need to brush up to another kind of business to cover up something. But still fine.
So as you mentioned, Bruce, right, yours you had some issues at the start, but then you pivot, you look for different ways to
yeah,
get your market, right?
Yeah, correct. We when at least first MCO, I realized actually when I set up the workshop, I intend to do some real workshop behind there is a space and can teach people really doing a little bit education works behind that. So once the MCO come in, okay, I shift all my plan, I change every single thing. Then I start to think restructure all our service. Just I saw that there is already almost 50 people. I just do a quick survey lah. Because I realized there is someone maybe that not already understand about 3D printing service. Maybe if you don't know what is 3D printing, you can type one on the chat room so we know. I can get more and explain on that so we can help audience understand more a little bit. Okay, yeah. Let's say if you guys are here and don't know anything about 3D printing or just very new to this industry, you can type 1. If you got very professional, you can type 5 as well in the chat box. If you don't know how to type in the chat box, you can try to put some video on and wave your hand. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, they do have people put 1, so yeah. So I took a quick 20 cent. Let's say what is 3D printing? Actually, we do the same. I don't talk about the industrial lab type. I'm talking about categories. Quick categories like first is like manufacturer, 3D printer manufacturer who built 3D printer itself. And I was be there because I in early start I'm just build my own 3D printer to sell that. And then now we're not doing that anymore. And I realized that Malaysia, all the manufacturing going to the back way until now. I'm not sure is that still any manufacturer out there or not. And then now that the second one, like our brothers is like Pebblereka is more on trading and supplies. You can import the printers and sell them actually as well. And then you have printing service, printing on demand service. And then we have product designer or sell the people who do the products to settle for their own problem, also for the industrial problem. And the fifth one is the education. So they got main is 5 categories from my what I get. So but most of the company they would access to all these parts, or whether it's for free the education or for charging education. But most of them will touch just different of percentage of the C where you look on. Like mine one is more on product design, because when the first MCO come in, I hit quite bad and early stage, but after that, like 1 year later, now this is the third or fourth MCO now. So I think now I from negative down very very hard until now like growing like almost 200% already. So it's a good thing if you solve some problem that really using 3D printing as a tools, not just pure 3D printing service. But if you ask me, 3D printing service is fact and not effect quite a lot. I'm not seeing a lot of people order, but I still receive a lot of request form. Just nowadays they will think like 2, 3, 4 times before they place orders compared to last time. So they will think that they're like normal. You can follow up like maybe 1-2 days and get one deals, and sometimes you follow up 1 week can get some industrial deal. Now I need to follow up maybe 3 months for just one the industry deal. And if you want to get a very big one, maybe you need to follow up for half year. I do have a follow up 5 half years order just on. So that is the thing. Okay, and that's my.
It's good sharing there. So I guess also maybe I can share a bit of miniatures issues. We also got impacted with 3D print. Basically for us, we do a lot of model making for road shows, for people doing exhibition, right? They need models. So we actually specialize on that area. And with MCO, right, all the exhibitions are shut down and closed. Architecture developers close. You know, they don't do those models. So basically, for us, we saw almost like a 90% drop in business. 90% is pretty huge, and our place is we have a small gallery in Sungai Wang. It's tougher because you lose two income there from a gallery and from the workshop business, totally zero, and not able to operate.
Yeah.
So yeah, we try to look to do our own products. From there, we know that we see that exhibition cannot jalan. So what we did is we came up with our own plan to make our own products. We diversify the design works and all, and slowly now we are building back. But again, we only can do so much. If the businesses still close, MCO still continue. Companies will not have marketing budget. A lot of the businesses, like when they want to do advertising, some of the advertising firms are doing TV commercials. They use 3D print. They cut all these budgets. Products for premium gift, events like for giving awards. Also some of them use 3D prints to make the items, right? All zero now. So I guess it's like no light end of the tunnel, no? Because now we see this new lockdown, and it's going to have another lockdown, and they said there's this plan for recovery. Don't seem like going to happen because the number keep going up. So I guess it's we have to plan very well, how to address the market, I'm sure the market is still out there. It's just that now how to, as Bruce mentioned also, how to convince these people to spend that they want to do it for their business, or it's a right investment for them. Because sometimes if you don't spend now, maybe later the price may go up, those kind of things. So we may have to work harder, I guess, to convince people to get those jobs. It is, for us, it's negative. It's not very good. So right, I can see there's a mix of impact. Some are low, middle, and it's a good thing. How do you think in this couple of months, is 2 or 3 couple of months, right? Where do you see your business going? Do you think it's going to be like stagnant? Do you think there'll be a negative growth or positive? How do you see these 2-3 months with the new MCO, with this new MCO in place?
You answer first.
I think we are suffering negative growth right now, but still maintaining still okay lah. Before, meaning that I still could survive with the MCO for maybe 6 months, I think, just to cover the revenue and just to cover the overhead costs and all. Since I just moved to a new place, so the overhead costs just hike up a bit, but still can maintain lah.
So it's like macam like break even lah kan? It's like break even lah sekarang.
Yeah. Still can maintain lah. I see no problem in maintaining, but I will not see any positive growth from MCO lah.
How about like, let's say last year kan, the movement for the 3D print kan, with all the face shields and all those things. I'm sure there's a lot of promotion about 3D printers and people buying 3D printers and stuff like that. Did you all benefit from that movement or not?
I think Aziz deliver almost 1,000 plus face shield, right?
I think about 3,000 lah.
10,000 lah.
But then just for marketing purpose lah, I think that month almost zero revenue. But still okay lah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I mean, in terms of sales of the printers, did you see an increase of people buying printers at that time?
Yeah, I mean, a few months for MCO, mostly our sales is from 3D printer sales, not the service itself. But now I think about only 10% on the markets. Only 10% of our revenue is on printer sales. At that time, it was about 80% lah.
Oh,
How about Hilmi? You've been doing printers also, right?
Yeah.
Do you see like a higher uptake of printers?
Our company experienced growth and expansion through JV and collaboration. So for the years 2019, 2020, when the COVID struck Malaysia, we experienced a drop in revenue of 5 to 10%. But since in terms of staffing, we currently have like 10 employees in charge of sales, operation, technical, and administration. Being a company that not focusing on FMCG, we are forced to work from home. It's quite challenging to maintain the OPEX when there is low sales generated. So, like I said, most of our customer obtain MITI approval to operate. They need consumable machine services, but we cannot comply So it's quite challenging period. So what we do is we just like focus on the marketing like online marketing. But yeah, printing service still ongoing, but not that much We are serving mostly automotive industry like Yamaha, Toyota. We also did jigs for Scania. So this industry also they not operating fully, so it kinds of affecting our printing demand as well.
okay.
How about like what do you think that the government can try to help out? Because there's not only our industry, there are other support industries, a lot of other support industries that having the same problem. Maybe if we can try to voice out in terms from our side, it also can inspire the other industries, right, to try to join together and voice out in their aspect that they've got things they need to deliver to the customers and they can't do it because government has stopped them from doing their business operation. And we have to have a channel, we have to find ways to solve this issue. If it's going to continue to lock down, it's not going to benefit anyone. The business will just we are not like I mentioned before, we are not like on off button. Tak boleh hari ni no business, shut down. Tomorrow okay, on back again. We cannot jalan that way. Business is an ongoing thing.
Correct. So how government can do can assist us is because lockdown and incentive is a temporary solution for SME like us. We notice that government show concern, attention towards industry 4.0, many initiative, incentive, policy introduced to promote IR 4.0. But we have to realize that the main driver that push the IR 4.0 is mostly SMEs. The same being done by government before COVID strike, the same should be exercised today by aiding SME, especially the 3D printing sector, to survive. Because it took us very long of waiting patiently for industry to finally adopt and accept 3D printing technology, which our business growth and continuity rely on. Many potential and used to be leading company, if you notice, in 3D printing sector, they have closed down due to the slow demand in Malaysia. Those which remain and those who just started, they can't afford to have longer period of lockdown to sustain. So yeah, as part of since we already have an association, maybe if like how government actively promote IR 4.0 previously, we hope that during this time government maybe can provide like financial scheme for AM additive manufacturing SME as a working capital, or maybe financial scheme for SME who wish to invest in additive manufacturing, or maybe allow at least one people to operate the business during MCO to keep the business afloat rather than completely shut down the business from operating. So, and as well as like tax incentive for raw material import. Like PLA, most of the community in Malaysia, we are using PLA, and PLA have like 20% import tax, which somehow like making the 3D printing costs a bit higher for the industry to adopt, for the community to adopt. So yeah, there should be like a special, I'll say, grant or incentive given for those IR 4.0 technology driver. That way the industry can grow, not because of COVID. Those who already like who already in the market now, they have to shut down business. They have been like waiting patiently for 6 years for the industry to grow, and then when COVID start, most of them have to shut down business. So it's more like yeah, all the effort put to waste, and then all those people who is really contributing to the industry cannot like actively contribute. That's my opinion.
It's a become very heavy section. So, but like I'm thinking, if you're talking about government thing, I always not really care about how they care us, because they really not really care. That if so like long term, if we say talk about what if my view for the government that we can do anything. First thing, I had to find out what we ourselves can do anything first. Until the day I cannot do anything, I need to switch. There's a case, but I think just now I got Hilmi mentioned that not allowed to open at all. What is that? Is that mean they're not actually they will come to check? Even one person working inside also they will catch.
Yeah, you not this MCO. They say that they deploying like 20,000 task force to spot check premises whether they have MITI approval to operate or not. So if let's say you got caught, then you will be fined like, I don't know, maybe 10,000.
To me, I'm thinking is because every time I check the news, I don't see this not allowed to operate. They're just not allowed the factory operate. If you got one person in the shop closing the door, doing some stuff, I don't think they have any reason to stop us from doing that, because you keep asking people work at home, right? You keep asking people work at home, but somehow you can't totally work at home. It has to be like, let's say, go back office to take something, or like us, we heavily deal with the machine, right? You have to operate the machine anyway. But one person go back to office, operate the machine. If this one is not allowed, that's not acceptable at all.
That's not acceptable.
Yeah.
You still need MITI even if one person operating.
Yeah.
That's right.
You still need MITI approval even if there's only one person operating.
Oh.
Correct. So I think to elaborate on that, right? Yeah, Bruce, the thing is, the policy that the government make, right, is affecting the small medium industry. That's the issue there. It's not that we want to say much, but I mean, we need to let them know that it's affecting a lot of us. I mean, it's fortunate that some of you guys, your factory or your workshop, right, is very near your walking distance to your home,
Yeah.
But unfortunately, for many, businesses, it's not the case. So for us to actually go back to take a part, equipment back, right, it need to travel really far.
Yeah.
So and some of the equipment, is like, let's say you have a small car, you can't be going like 4 or 5 times to bring in your 20 printers home to do your printing, because your car only can fit so many printers at one time. Like for us, right? Our workshop, I only took back 4 small printers, the 3 Ender 3 Pro and 2 Photon. That also took me 4 rounds of traveling, because I had to carry all my other equipment back. So it's from Puchong going back to Sungai Wang, non-stop carrying So imagine if other people were to do that, right? It'll be very, very dangerous because you'll be having chance to get caught by the government. I mean the authority that you are not doing following, not complying with the policies. You know that the government has said that you cannot travel over 10 kilometers. For me, unfortunately, I've brought it back early before the MCO started. So I kind of foresee that the MCO is going to be very long. So I brought back everything at the time. But currently, there's a lot of people still have their machines in their, they can't remake everything at one shot.
Yeah.
It's tough. I guess their business also cannot jalan. Even they got jobs, do the whatever prints. Small sum, I mean like $100, $200, 1,000, 500. At least some money for them, no. But now they can't do those. It's tough. I think. And seeing the next few months, it's going to be even tougher for them. So that's why that's the whole idea of the talk to see what we can to as a community to bring up and highlight, so we can try to get someone to hear us, they can make this. So sometimes they will say that, hey, nobody's complaining, for what we want to change. No one complain, that I think that's what's going on. So we have to do a bit of complaining, we have to do a bit of telling people that it is not working, the ways that they are doing the thing is not working. They have to look at actually what's happening on the ground. So I guess, what do you think, like, for instance, okay, I saw a question here by Daniel O. Are local customers only, or any of you maintaining business with overseas customers? So guys, do open again to the floor. Do you service only local customers, or do you do like from overseas, like maybe for Singapore, from regional? How many percent, if you have that? How many percent is local? How many percent is international?
Okay, for that one, our design products, we have part of them is local, but most of them is overseas. The main thing is because of the product set, I'm actually passing to our partners, the distributors, so that's basically they sell overseas directly. Local hard to get sales now, honestly. Not that good, but overseas they still got a lot of places that got actually positive grow on the economy. So that there is a place we aiming for, and also of course the niche market parts are. So people who can't find from other places, that's why they can buy from us. And of course, supply from Malaysia compared to supply from others, Europe company, the country that will be cheapest for them is the best option for them. Yeah.
How about you guys?
I even noticed that some of the 3D printing community, they make their own product and sell through international web platform like Etsy. So they've been receiving quite a number of orders from overseas through Etsy website. So those who have intention or have already have a own product, then Etsy will be a good platform to like market your product overseas.
Yeah, but Etsy also very painful. You need to warn that first. They will be charge you very high on the tax and this and that. But of course, that one end up will go back to customer. No choice. But you want, and also Etsy very easy to take down your shop. My partner shop get taken down like 3 times already. So we have Amazon products as well. So you have to find a multiple channel to go for your product. Otherwise, you will stick on one thing. You would very painful on that also.
Mine is 100% local, so no issue on the exporting or such thing.
Oh, okay.
Cool. So So there's a Jean has mentioned a question here. What kind of foreign customers look? What kind of foreign customer look for? I guess he's trying to ask what kind of products, maybe the varieties of products. Is it like industrial, maybe, or is it like a hobby, figurines? What sort of things that people are looking for from overseas?
Actually, a lot of things can be looking for. Foreign customer is still human, and anything that if you got solve some problem, let's say I can't share a lot of detail because we got partners and we signed NDA with that. So, but what I can say is solving one problem. Let's say take an example. I have a product before. It's like VR. We play VR now, right? And then you got a prescription lens casing. That I saw that now there are quite some people doing it. So we're not doing that much already. But before that, I actually models that to just make a brackets. Then we collaboration with Optimus. Then they make the glass lenses. And then also then we just sell the products the custom glasses for the VR players. So the reason I make that because myself is a player and I don't like to wear glasses inside that because it's painful. And that small problem I solve, and people will face the same problem as well. So and just like last year is a very high pitch on the VR that grow up very fast. This year slowing down already, but so last year is selling very good on that products as well. Then that is the thing. Overseas they got more VR user. That's why I can go overseas as well. Local also got growing up VR user. Then we can grow local. So no matter international or overseas, as long as your product got the need, so you can just simply go, unless someone else copy and then dominate the market to create a competition, that kind of stuff like. Then we can slow down for that one, then go for another one.
Great. So my opinion is 3D printing service. There is two category. I always categorize 3D printing as two category. One is made on demand. Another one is a proprietary product, like your own product. So for made of demand, this is a service where you have to compete on pricing, how many per gram. So in certain case, you have your loyal customer or regular customer. They will come back to you and then ask you for that service. But for the first time customer, they might compare what is the best price, although they don't know there is many material available, different kind of services. So they just look at the price, which is the cheapest. So the best thing about 3D printing, my opinion is if you can go for proprietary product. So example like proprietary product, you will have maybe two categories, seasonal or cyclic. So seasonal is more like a facial project, those which is seasonal, depending on the situation of the current condition. But cyclic is those requirement which is repetitive. Example, like maybe you design something which is for the use of a household product, or maybe you design something which can be used generally to everyone. So that is a kind of product invention which will generate you constant income on 3D printing rather than go for made on demand or those which is seasonal proprietary product. You mute.
Muted that.
All right. Yeah, just to add on to what Hilmi had mentioned. Yeah, true. Agree what you just said. For us also same thing. Where our product is a lot made locally for international market, because for us, let's say we build a model, right, of a chiller. We are considered like a chiller maker now. A model of a chiller maker, if you count it in ringgit, right, it's around 10,000, 9,000, 10,000 ringgit, inclusive design, making it, finishing it, and the casing. But if you look at it in US dollars term, right, US dollar is like 2,000, maybe 1,008, 2,000 US dollars for them. It makes sense for them, because if you're going to make it in US itself, it probably costs them double or triple, maybe 6,000 US dollars to make the same thing. Where else they only spend 1,000 ringgit plus $1,000, and they get the same products. So that's how we market ourselves. But sadly, roadshows all shut down. So yeah, we really focus on doing that, proprietary designs, on unnecessary proprietary designs. I think there's a pros and cons on that lah. Especially like situation like now, we suffer a lot lah, because we didn't expand our markets to on-demand print and all those things. So, but we are working on ways lah. We have to work on ways how to pivot, how to really adapt to the new market lah. As I mentioned, I think there are still businesses around. It's just how we reach out to them, how we get people to know providing those services. Yeah. So yeah. I think there's a lot of information we're getting here. I look at this. Just now, Izwan, you mentioned how to market your product and services, right? Just now, Bruce has shared this. Even Hilmi has mentioned also Etsy, selling on Amazon, selling on all these platforms online. Have multiple platforms because sometimes if you too focus on one, and sometimes your items may be taken down or your account have been blocked. So you would want to have multiple accounts going to these markets. And personally, what I would say, do a lot of contents of your product.
Yeah.
Photograph videos of your things that you made, because if you designed it yourself, people will want to see the how you want to use it. If let's say I know is when you do a lot of those car, the 164 scale accessories, right? Do more videos on that. Maybe what you can do is put more photographs of sceneries using your products, and then that way you can attract more people to actually get your items. And then put your links. Sometimes the Facebook, they allow you to say that if you want to buy this item, you can go to this link. So those are a few ways you can reach your market. International markets are for these products.
Oh, okay. So
just now, someone was asking to share some photograph, right, of items. There's maybe you can take like 1-2 minutes, and I can share with you. Let's see. This was the. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. So this is the folder I keep 3DP for Malaysia. Still keeping a folder here. So you can see the items that we have, the printed, these are the face shields that were printed last year from the team. Everyone came together, beautiful effort from everyone. We got from 3D printing, the team went into laser cutting, went into injection mold, into all sorts of ways. And you can see even the guys in Girantut, right? They let me see if I can run the video. Yeah, keep all this so as a memory, Yeah, it's a good memory to keep, that everyone came together. This is the injection molding. From the 3D printed part, they actually injection mold out all their items. For those who have never seen injection mold, this is how it happens. It takes a couple of seconds, maybe like 15 seconds, 20 seconds to injection mold out the item, and you get your finished product almost immediately. There you go, one face shield. So the idea came from 3D printed materials. The effort was a collaborative effort from everybody throughout Malaysia, and I think that was a beautiful thing because it shows the potential of decentralized manufacturing. It shows how digital works from Europe, can be designed in Europe and distributed all around the world, or designed in America and then updated throughout the world, and then getting your new versions out and producing all this at your local vicinity. So I think that is the beauty of 3D printing, and I guess that was the best. That was one of the best time that you can really see the full potential of 3D printing. So yeah, this is from UCIS. They were doing testings. They are doing actual testing on the 3D printing part. This is the laser cut items to see the compliance mechanism, right? Whether it will break or not. So yeah, it's not just about printing. A lot of them actually went into the process of doing stress testing. You know, doing a lot of things to make sure that when people wear it, people use it, it's comfortable, it's workable, it actually functions what it's supposed to do. So I think 3D printing need another of this movement. Right, we need to have another movement. Yeah, so yeah, back to the thing here. Let's see what any questions. How much does it cost to develop a mold? Depending your mold, you know what type of mold you want to use it for. So
if you have actual needs for the injection mold, you can actually I can pass you contact. I got a few friends of doing injection mold as well. Basically, the different how complexity is your model is not just like the fixed price. There's no such thing of fixed price, but the expensive part is the mold itself. I need to process the mold and make sure it's work. Those kind of stuff.
The complexity of the
see how many cavity you need, how big is the size, those kind of stuff lah.
Yeah. So yeah, typically will go around that price of 15K. Sometimes you can go to I've seen mold that go up to 90,000 ringgit, one mold.
I also done some more like few thousand ringgit only.
Actually with 3D printing, right, you can use. Sorry, Jim.
That is more costing less than 10K, depend on the size and the complexity. Do you need 3 axis or 5 axis and all that?
Correct. And actually now with 3D printing, right, I see people actually making resin molds, you know, carbon fiber molds with 3D printing, right?
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating how the people are using the 3D printing.
But talking about mold, we used to have one customer. He have his own invention of product. So he validated the design by doing 3D printing, and then later invested to patent the design and then injection mold for mass production. But at the end, after he invested on the mold, he invested on the patent, the product cannot sell. So in a way, he lost almost I think 80,000 for product which is not proven having the demand in the market. So that's where 3D printing, you can test the market whether there is demand or not before going for injection mold.
Yes, that's true. Also, like depend on the demand. If you got you one only selling like 550, 100, then no point to do injection mold. If you sell like 1,000 per month, then you should go to injection mold just to save time and cost as well, so you can bring down the customer buying powers.
Yeah, agree. So how do you see the let's get to the topic, right? How do you see the next couple of months, right? We talk about the challenges that will come in these couple of months. So what do you think that as a community, right, what kind of effort do you think in these 2-3 months we should come up with, you know, in the Facebook group or in the association, right, to actually do something to uplift, you know, the community. Because as you can see, the white flag movement and the Bendera Putih that's happening now, you can see a lot of people losing their job, a lot of people cannot make ends meet, you know, and then can't get, you know, to put food on the table. I think it's the group of people coming together, especially like the 3D printing community, so connected, right? No, we should take a chance, you know, to do something for the community to lift up spirit, you know, to be inspired, you know, to get people to really look forward. I mean, in these couple of months, do you think you have any ideas that we can share? Do you think that we can have, you know, to create that positive vibe in 3D printing?
I think every week we got question asking on how to make money using 3D printer on the 3D printing group, right? I think you all could see that.
Yeah.
So most people going after the 3D printing service. So I think we need to re-educate them that 3D printing is not all about the 3D printing service. it's better for you to go on the 3D product. I mean, to make your own product instead of going for the market of services. So many people get asking, oh, how do you market your own product? How to make your own product? I think it's more on we need to educate them on how to design. I mean, using CATIA, SolidWorks, such that, or Blender, or Rhino. I think we need to educate them how to use the 3D design to cope with the 3D printing, not only on the 3D printing.
Right. Agree.
Yeah. Well, we can teach people how to 3D models, but but after they learn how to 3D model, what can make money, that's another story. Like you go in the school, learn a skill, learn or whatever, graphic design or advertisement or even accounting, not means you can earn money straight away from that. It's the same thing with 3D printing. You have to have your own ideas, but different is most of the so-called 3D earn money by 3D printer is an entrepreneur move. It's not a work for other waiting for people tell you what to do. Is you have some solution for something, then you can create from that solution. Maybe it's a product that one help you, and the product suitable for using 3D printing as a manufacturing method. That's help you earn money. So like people, I actually faced someone like maybe 2 or 3 last month and asked me, I want to buy 3D printer, this and that. And after like, okay, after consult everything there, okay, I want a 3D printer, but waiting for next month's salary. If that is the case, you need to wait for the salary to buy the printers. Try not to buy the printers in this timing, because it's not a good time to just spend money on some unknown place. You need to keep safe. Okay, keep yourself some cash flow. I don't think the pandemic will be stopped at the soon. I think at least 1 or 2 years will go on. Even all of you vaccinate, not mean you cannot a virus carrier. You still can infect someone. Okay, the thing will still there for quite some time. So you have to prepare yourself. In this time, if you're struggling already, try to stop your struggling, learn something. Learning a 3D modeling is one of the good skill for you to create something. But if you have something try to solve in your mind, you can try to learn and deep down in the part. If you don't have 3D printing, it's not a big problem. We got so many in the market that talk with none of us. We can see whether this thing can go for you to for the shorter, lower price for the manufacturing part to try in the market. See whether you should able to do your own marketing, not own manufacturing parts or not. So not everyone has to own some 3D printer at home unless you are a thinker, want to play with it only. So unless you you have already have the product that you need a method to production and you want to do it yourself, then you can try that method. But not just I buy a printer then ask, hey, how do I use it to earn money? That is not how is business work. You have to know something, right, before you do anything.
People think that 3D printing is a magic money maker.
This is not money printing machine, but I do print some money with it, but it's not for buying stuff, it's for props, right? So yeah, it can print money, the not usable one, but it's not the money printer. You can't buy a printer straight away. Same thing when you buy a photostat machine or a inkjet machine. If you are a 2D graphic designer, you design the logos for someone, right? Then the value is on the design fees, not the printing fee. The printing is cheap, right? So if you got the ideas, you got the design, you sign NDA with us, we print for you. We help you manufacture. You can save the cost of investment and time to invest all the machine, this kind of stuff. Or you already know all those things, then you can get that one. I would suggest you buy machine to do it yourself because you got the skill already. But early stage, I would suggest you try to use do more collaboration. You don't have to have 1,000 machine to do 1,000 pieces per day. You can find 1,000 machine in the world and product at the same time. Like I do find as if to print something sometime, right? Time we print, we need an urgent part, so we do collaboration. And I actually the time I need a 48 machine run together, so I spread out to the community. Guys, help me print something. Like then that is the case where we don't need to limit it to what ourselves. We try to tap into the communities and do more collaboration, then you can help the business grow, help the community grow together as well. So try to think big. If you like, you have the products that you can sell, don't need much, 20 piece per month, then you should start to talk with us already, or any 3D printing service also can. Then you can try to maybe make 10, 20, try to sell in the market. Is it sellable or not? Right? It's worth to sell or not? If you can continue, maybe next month 10, maybe 20, 30, 40, and 50. This is how it works. We're trying the market. It's okay. This one's sellable, and try to maximize the production until the certain level. Okay, this production should be go into injection mode already. Then we check. We only shift the thing. Or you think, I think I don't want to go injection mode, but I try to manufacture myself. Then you can try to invest to printers from Pebblereka or whatever people, right? So find a way to work before, use all the resource you can grab before you really get into some totally unknown area, right?
Yeah, I think people also need to realize that using a 3D printer, there's a learning curve for doing the 3D printer.
Yeah.
You can't just get a 3D printer and wow, perfectly you get the great 3D printing result.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to use it and all. And that's about, I think I give it about a few months for you to get a perfect print and all that. To know how the printer handles and how the machine works, what material to use and all. So yeah, I think Bruce is right at that. Don't go to buy a 3D printer as soon as possible, but learn the technology first, and yeah, try to outsource first.
Yeah. Okay. I saw some questions. So Sky-O, and basically is understand the cost. He tried to understand the cost of 3D printings. Well, normally if you go for the normal status, actually supposed to be 1 ringgit per gram, and of course you see someone crazy low, but I'm not sure the qualities. You can try out actually. If you see 0.05 cent and you got very big stuff, actually you can try it. I like to know the result as well. Seriously, since it but of course I believe that 0.05 cent. The first thing is they can't do collaboration. They can't do the fast production. Let's say if you want 100 set of the things in few days. If you pass to me, I will first thing I call Aziz, and I'll maybe call another few guys like Zimo. We have collaboration list on my chat on my computer already. The contact list. Who got how many printers? We just slot in. Well, but if you call the 0.05 cents, first thing they cannot collaboration because the price is too low. What do they do? They only can print with one machine maybe. So you have to find out who is the good parties. Then you need to find that. Then only you see the collaboration with negotiation on the pricing lah. We can talk, and also most likely if you got production, we have production rate separately. But if you want print, I want print one item small, okay, like this one like prop. Then I'm sorry, I still 1 ringgit per gram. I'm not going to give you a 5 cent or 10 cent that nonsense price. Okay, we have workshop, we have operating fees, at all the thing is come out to normal charges. Okay, if you want the straight talk nothing, is price only. Okay, 1 ringgit per gram. That is what I can give you. If expected that first, then you can go. You got a better plan in the future. So you got the discount. Oh, 75 cents. Oh, then you're happy already because you know. That is the production rate price, and it can go down, not the competition price that paying a price for or grabbing the intention only. Because I do know someone put 10 cents that actually just for intention, make you try the damn first, but end up the price is not that price.
For review.
Yeah, for review and the 10 cent actually is for you to key in how much you want to order. Let's say you order that piece. Okay, this piece 30 ringgit, and they you can buy a lot of pieces, then you can do a big review. But it's not really a 10 cent. I hope you understand that. Do have some that you can try actually. If you got extra money, or you can try that service.
I think Cheng Huat was planning to do a video on that.
Yeah.
Next week.
Okay, you try another 0.5 cents per gram. Then you send a 30 kg to see how long it produces. I do have a lot of models that are more than 100 kg. I'm not kidding, it's like 3 meter, 4 meter. Yeah, I just sent one piece, and they GG already. The whole month cannot process. Then I look at what they can earn, and it's not much.
Yeah, I got a model. It's quite big, like around 90 cm tall.
Oh,
So I'll be cutting it a few pieces, and then my idea is I'm going to send to a few of these different guys to do this 10 cent or whatever 15 cent print, and then at the end of the day when they send it back, I want to see, I mean it's an honest review. It's not not to put them down or whatever. It's just to show,
true.
hey guys, there's these people sending it, but then they don't do like cleaning of your product, like finishing. They just give you everything together, support all together. So those kind of things maybe helps them to reduce their costs. They don't spend so much time to do. So I just want to do an honest review to let people know that, hey, there's these guys doing this service, but do expect this kind of quality, or don't put your hope to say that it must be super polished, super smooth and all those things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'll probably do it next week.
Okay. I'm looking for that.
Yeah.
Actually,
So there's a lot of questions here. By
10 cent is possible.
Sorry?
10 actually 10 cent is possible if, let's say, you are operating your machine from maybe university. The machine is owned by the university. The material is owned by the university. So actually, the 10 cent is your pure profit. You have no overhead. So that's
lah.
Correct. Because someone's paying for you. Even let's say you do 60 cents. Let's say you buy a spool at a spool of filament at 60 ringgit. 1 gram is already 6 cents already. It will cost you.
Yeah.
If you divide it directly, just only the material will cost you minimum 6 cents already at 60 ringgit spool. So electricity and everything else, you don't count rent. Let's say you don't count rent, you just count electricity and the material of the filament. You already hit at least 7 cents to 8 cents already per gram.
Yeah, you haven't count the maintenance cost and the machine cost.
Exactly. If the nozzle break or whatever, So yeah, that's why I just want to test, to see what is the experience of 10 cents per gram. So yeah, there's this Nanito. They asked about is there a reliable source of for us to get affordable raw materials such as filaments and UV resins. I guess a lot of the filaments, even like the virgin materials to make the filaments now, importing, as Hilmi mentioned, is quite high, the cost. And there's a 20% tax now, right? Import tax on the material. So I think it's a bit expensive to produce it locally here. Most of it, I believe, is imported, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. A lot of the filaments and all these UV are imported from overseas, right?
Yeah.
Most raw material are from China or US, I think.
Netherlands, they have few filament manufacturer like Colorfab, Form Futura, Dutch Filament. So yeah.
How do you see that the local makers here? Do you see a player coming up doing filaments soon in Malaysia, or UV? This photopolymer resins.
For filament, there's, I think, one of the participant here, Akil Amizan. Yeah, Akil Amizan. He's the person who manage Gaia Pebble. He's going to start 3D printing filament manufacturing soon at section 15 Shalam, if I'm not mistaken. So on the material wise, I think they will be collaborating with university who have expertise on polymer, and also in the participant list, I think we have someone from UniKL MIDI. They also invested in filament making machine. They also might be having their own material for filament to offer in the Malaysia market.
When do you think we'll reach?
With the current situation, I'm not sure when is the best
End of the year or 2022?
It should be within this year. It should be within this year.
Interesting.
Yeah,
What's
I would love to visit the industry.
Yeah, but the way I see is because in the market globally now, most of the community they are relying on PLA because of the easiness to print and then the availability of the material. So for Malaysia, I guess we should think of something else beside PLA to develop because PLA is most of the raw material is from China or Netherlands through a company called NatureWorks. So the one is the import tax for the pellet is quite expensive. Another thing is the material itself is expensive. So we have a lot of expertise from university who can develop our own material based on our natural waste available here, like palm oil or like palm serine or something else. So I'm really looking forward for that kind of material, which is Malaysia resource base.
Cool. Looking forward for those products. I also saw it's a small company, company called Lumica that's doing recycled materials from the plastic bags and all those PET, right? They are now testing in a small scale on how to do recycling of these filaments. So I think it's a very good, very positive movement towards filament development. What about resin? Do you see anyone moving into the resin market?
I don't think resin is feasible in Malaysia since not many player there.
Actually, yesterday I talked with 3D Hub's owners, and he said someone doing in here, but I still not figured out who is it yet. Maybe next week I try to find out.
I see. Cool. So yeah, we can. So let's see the next questions coming up. I hope we answered your question. Yeah. Do we have a market rate for 3D design? Like how many RM per hour, and do we count, or how do we count the cost? Generally, Sky, right? Sky, the going rate depends on the skill of the designer. Very much depends on the skill of the designer, and also depends on the complexity of drawings that you do. But generally, I would think it will start from 60 to 70 ringgit per hour. But generally, a very experienced designer, right, would already know that when he look at a product that you want to design or reverse engineer, he will already tell you, alright, this one will take around 4 man hours or 10 man hours. Then from there, you would be able to gauge how much your actual investment cost. Maybe it'll be around 400, 500, or sometimes to be more complex, more wholesome, right? Some designers actually provide you a bundle to let you know that, I'll charge you a minimum of 2,000 ringgit, and with this 2,000 ringgit, you can do your iteration on drawings without extra cost. Maybe I'll give you 3 times you can change your drawings. So but the 3 times of changing your drawings may not be like from scratch, changes around the drawings. I would think there's a few methods of doing this. Guys, would you like to share? Bruce, I see you do a lot of drawings also, right? Designs.
Yeah.
What's the going rate around now?
Well, it depends on project basically. Let's say if a simple level. So if you do for project, our basic charge is 500. So not lower than that. But of course, if you have more complicated, let's say if you have the request in your mind already. So after talk, we know how complicated is that. Same like Cheng Huat say, we also charging by 60 per hours, depend on the project. But most of the time we are just bundle I charging from 500 to 5,000 before, and so far even higher. Also, I quoted before that's like actually it's a long-term project. It's like more than 5 different parts joined together, and some of them more than 10 different parts joined together become one product. So it's really depend on what is the problem you're trying to solve. So I even meet someone, it's like I try to solve this problem, then throw me all the components. We had to settle it from scratch. So from stress test, from the assemble test. So we not only print like 1 or 2 sample for them, maybe print 10 sample for them just to develop their products, and it takes weeks, right? So we can't really count by hour in that case. If otherwise, if like hire me for 1 month, then it will be very expensive to you. So we normally work very closely, but normally this kind of project we will bundle at first. Yeah, actually the highest one I charge is 20,000 last time. So it's depend on the project specialist.
20,000 for design.
Actually, no. It's a bundle one. It's that because the model is more than around 1.5 meters, something like that, and very complex. Got like more than eight. That one is like 20 components. Yeah. Every component we had to make sure that fit together to other stuff, right? So that will take quite a month's time just to pure doing all the prototype and test this and that. So basically, we will charge for that kind of price. Of course, my chargings sometime I will also check on the price range in the market. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to overcharge it, and I don't want to lower charge as well. So when we do in the professional range, we had to understand this thing we provide how much value on the products first. Let's say if this is the thing they never do before, try ask someone professional. Let's say if you're doing the jigs and parts, right? You can try to talk with some friends who in the automotive then line in this kind of stuff that roughly if normal way how they process and how they charge, they can understand the range of that, so they can give a better rate that people won't think like, oh, this guy fella stupidly charge so high for something. But we had to know what value we provide. Don't simply come, yeah, this one 100,000 lah. Not like that lah. not playing that way. Yeah. So the full project for my just like my quarter, that one is 20 plus thousand is cheap because the market rate is like 30,000. They were acceptable, but I've considered if 3D printing can lower down a lot of cost, so I bring down the cost as well. I spend more time on prototyping, even doing demo before they request for the stuff. They like, okay, how that, because it's very new, they can't find anyone doing. So basically we do a quick sample model before the thing start, so we can give our customer trust that okay, you really can do it. That's why we can get the orders.
Guys, Hilmi, any thoughts about this?
It's hard to put a price on the design though.
Yeah.
For your experience,
for my experience, anything you see, okay, I can do this in about 50 minutes or less. I usually charge about 50 ringgit minimum. But sometimes the client wants to print about 100 pieces of this, so I just free design lah. So I just take the cost from the printing. But then I usually charge most of the stuff I charge about 300 per design. Depend. If it's more complicated, so it's going to be much higher lah. But then it's hard to put a price on design cost. An experienced designer can design something in about 1 hour, but less experienced maybe takes about 3 hours to design it. So yeah, that's why it's so hard to put a price on the design cost. Hilmi, any thoughts?
From our side, we do have sometimes we do have a request to design and print. So the design request is depend. If let's say the product is solid, then we have an in-house designer to design solid model. But if the design is more like a surface type, like have to use Blender, then we will outsource to freelancer who have the capability to draw the design. But the pricing wise, like Bruce said, it's more like 60 to 100 ringgit per hour. Example, like we did one of our customer project is a jigs and fixture, consists of 160 unit jigs. The design cost to design that 160 unit jigs, we charge them about 10,000 ringgit just for the design. So some customer they just need the STL for their copy. Some they might need the step file, the STL, the 2D drawing, the printed 2D assembly drawing. So yeah, depends on the request. If the request require a lot of documentation, a lot of their requirement is very detailed, then we will charge higher lah. But to be honest, even for me, I've been 3D printing for 7 years. I don't know how to design.
You are the owner, man.
That's why you
You're
rich.
not the only one.
Because that's why you're more rich, man. You can use your staff to do it, and you don't have to do it yourself. And also you can invest more on the machine, so you can get local access more easier. So like us, we start everything from ourselves, so we had to learn from scratch. Like many years ago, the first request I remember for the 3D design is like just the first one is 500 ringgit as well. For a wheelchair, actually it's quite a lot of parts. That one 500 actually lower code, but for that time I have no idea how to design. So I spent like 1 week's time just to learn how to design to convince my customer to give me to do it. So that's how it works. If you got the value in the company as a boss, you need to work on more thing in futures, and you had to pass all the work to others. Now I also already start to pass to my brothers and my intern to do it as well. So yeah, that's the way. But I think maybe a few years later, I already forgot. Maybe I will forgot how to design as well, possible. Because the software coming so fast.
Yeah, new design software.
Yeah, like many years ago, I tried to learn renders, and after they come out the new version, I totally changed all the view. But of course, the background is same lah. Just you have to relearn a lot of stuff. Like in last week, I want to do some 2D drawing from Illustrator. I was in graphic design and doing Illustrator as well, but I realized that I can't find all the shortcut already. That's already totally changed. A few years you're not touching it, even before you will be gone. So you have to keep follow up, keep trying. When you're free, keep doing something small thing, then you can catch up.
So I guess we more or less we have answered Sky's question about how design costs. So it's affected by many factors. So it is as also one thing highlighted by Zip just now, right? He's saying that if you take an experienced designer, it may take 1 hour to design. If you take a non-experienced designer, maybe take 3 hours or 4 hours to design.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to see the portfolio, I guess, of the designer, seeing how detailed the person can draw. Is you have to ask all these things before you get your design. You have to ask for a portfolio, and most often you have to ask multiple quotation. Don't just go for one quotation. Do as what most quality management system companies will do. 3 quotation minimum. Go around just asking. It's no harm asking one. People like us, right, will be very happy to give you our portfolios and give you our quotations, because it's rather than sitting down doing nothing than giving up quotation. We rather give up quotation. At least the quotation may translate to a business. So don't feel shy from asking quotation. We will be very glad to just. The price not right, never mind lah. We can still negotiate, Even if we don't get a business today, we can look at future things. So, business is business. So just ask for more quotations. Ask for a portfolio. Very, very important for portfolio, because when you see the portfolio, you can see what the person can do and cannot do. But sometimes if you see the portfolio and the pictures, you see, the pictures like not very good. But then when he's saying that he can produce the thing is very good, right? It doesn't match up with his portfolio. Then you know that you need to look for another person because it doesn't meet your requirement or your expectation, you know. I guess that's like the sharing. Right? So as we move on here, Vicky has also mentioned here in the comments that say that suggestion that 3D printing community is that possible for anyone to discuss and decide the consensus price for 3D printing. I've seen 5 cents per gram. I guess, like I said, it's free market. It cannot really control it and say that everyone should be at this price. There's monopoly, you know. It's sort of like monopolizing and then stopping free market. I think we can just encourage them to do what they want to do, but for us, we just encourage more people to set the standard, you know, not to go too low, and then let them know why not to go so low, because it doesn't make sense to run it as a business in that sense, because you will not make money at the end. I think just for us, just to keep promoting to have a minimum price of maybe 60 cents or 70 cents or $1 is better than letting people know not to do 5 cents. Just for us to just maintain that price ourselves and let people know, you know. As we move here to Pen, about the community and collaboration, I remember that the last time in the group, some of you guys actually detailed information regarding on location of some of us that owns 3D printer. Yeah, do you know who was doing that? The map for 3D printer?
I
There was
don't
a
know.
person doing the map, right?
I just know Prusa got their own map, so I.
Pusha different level lah. This one from Malaysia ni. I mean to see all the makers and all the things. I think it'll be a good effort, no, for the
I think that one
association.
was for the face sheet, right? I think.
Bukan. Before the face show, there's someone that come up with a Google map, right?
Oh
To show all the makers and all the 3D printers in Malaysia.
Maybe need to ask Mark about that.
Yeah, actually I invited him to join also, but he said not free lah. He said maybe he's still sleeping.
But I think this one, you see.
So yeah.
I think it's something like actually something you go if you go to search like now you just search in Google Map, you will find quite a lot of them already. So, yeah, One Stop 3D Center is mine, and my Shopee, and my 3D World, AA, Pebblereka, see, all is here already.
Yeah.
Really get. So you just basically go to Google Map and search around that. Yeah. I think every one of you is on there. Who's not on? Who?
Yeah, when miniature, there's no miniature.
Ayo, you not put last time, that's why you got problem.
My one is right there is temporary close.
Okay.
My 3D shop, but
yeah, if
no lah, but we are not mainly not doing 3D printing so much at the last 2 years. We were setting up the place, so we were not doing so much.
Yeah.
Maybe we can set up for the association later.
Yeah, this is the
cool.
Well, this is the Prusa one. Yeah, not the
different level.
Yeah, they got pure like showing everything. This is lab, this is group, this is user. So user got like Singapore got 47, Malaysia not much. 25 here. Who is it? Curious.
25 is from you lah. Oh.
No lah, I don't have 25 lah. I sell 25 here lah. 2 is inside.
As you're running through the map there, you can run through the...
Yeah, it's just same thing lah. Same with Google Map. You just roll down and see who is there. But this is not combined number. You need to count yourself manually. So they got shot 1. And Y3D got 2. Hey. Okay. Then find out yourself one day.
How does one
last time 3D Hub also compiled this kind of information, right?
Damn 3D Hub. Sorry. I was top review on inside the 3D Hub, then they cut me down, cut our account.
I think 3D Hub is more on industry right now.
Yeah, they now become hubs, not 3D anymore. Because 3D Hub, I think Malaysia got one 3D Hub, I think, on Shopee. So So now 3D Hub become hubs only, and somehow the 3D printing service sector you can't click in anymore. You can't apply the 3D printing service from there.
Maybe because it's not making a lot of money. You know, they're focusing 20%. You know, that makes their 80% of their profit. Rather than spend 80% of their effort on the 20% profit.
And they sell actually the 3D hubs already transfer to others owners.
I think over here there are smaller players but not doing it online. They're like materialized, you know, they get the jobs and then they give out, they'll sub out the jobs, you know.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong. As long as you get the business correctly and survive, that's okay. Some of them that I know do have someone that doing 3D printing. They're not even put online. They're not even stacking their Google Map. So they don't do anything, but they still survive somehow. Okay, so they just do their own product and silently then they're not consider they are doing 3D printing, but basically they rely to 3D printing as a tools. Well, that's one of the way to do it.
Yeah. So I see there's also a comment here by Dr. Kuram. I have an example of 3D printed mold for wax injection mold. Yeah. So there's also this potential of doing it using wax.
Yeah.
He does the metallurgy, you know, 3D printing for mold for metal castings. I think there's a future for 3D printing is adopting metallurgy into 3D printing and moving away from FDM plastics. You see a lot more different type of materials coming in. Foundry, 3D printed patterns and foundry.
Hey, someone asking how to join Mama.
Yeah, soon. There's a question from Johnson here. Hi Johnson, yeah, not sure if this was asked before. How can local 3D SME convince local communities to trust users, you know, local services, products, distributors, rather than getting this online from other countries to support? Yeah, that's I think one thing we are trying to build as a community. The brand name of the different like association or company, right? We're still very new. A lot of us are still very new, and those joining in are still very new. I guess that we still have to have a lot of contents to come up, right? We need to have a lot of infos coming out. Then because when infos come out, right, people can relate. No, it's like, hey, I've seen these guys in the newspaper before. I've seen these guys on YouTube sharing this info, and it makes sense. And a lot of people have been commenting. So I think engaging the community is coming up with a lot of these type of programs. What do you think, guys? Tuan Pengurusi, Mr. President of Mama.
So it's actually a good question by Johnson. We even have Jason Yu here from Additive Singapore. He have many of those industrial machines serving different kind of application. So the challenge in Malaysia is most of us, we have FDM capability, the wire type 3D printer. We have a committee who have few, like SLA machine to serve certain application. But there is much more technology in 3D printing which some market or some industry required, like metal printing, dental printing, some require like full color 3D printing. So this kind of technology sometimes it is difficult to find in Malaysia, which some of the industry they might source outside of Malaysia to get this kind of services. So one of the important things to have all the community into one, like association example, is that we make ourselves aware to the community that we have this technology. Example like university, they have a lot of budget, and some of them they have a high-end technology in 3D printing, but they are more like for the use of the student, not for services. So we should collaborate with university on getting the access of their technology so that we can offer this kind of services to the community. So all the community in Malaysia will try to get this service locally rather than get it somewhere else.
If I may add, right, it's like sort of having a directory, right?
Yes.
Of all the companies or people that have the equipment or 3D printing equipment, right?
So maybe we can ask Jason, since Jason is here. Jason, do you receive demand from Malaysia, example, on to get services on like which require special additive manufacturing machine?
Hi guys, good morning. I've been listening very interestingly to the whole conversation since the start. So yeah, I mean, I do receive that customers in Malaysia are, slowly requesting for better quality finishing, higher quality technology. But of course, I feel that there's still a gap in terms of them expecting the price versus the so-called quality. What I mean is that, for example, they compare with the price of the standard technology out there like FDM or some even low-end SLA or CLP, but they want to go for SLF or they want to go for MJF or they want to go for metal or even multi-material printing, but the price point doesn't then keep them back. So I feel that it's just a matter of time slowly that the market is more mature in order for them to understand that, okay, actually, if you use the right 3D printing technology, you can better than the existing technologies out there, like, for example, injection molding or even CNC. It all depends on the application as well as the customization, the personalization of the product that the client is trying to do. So I have basically helped companies in the same with us will actually bring their product from initial drawing to selling into the market. They are selling the product in a lot of quantity. And each of the products needs to be the right 3D printing technology because they are not looking at opening up molds or they're not looking at doing CNC. And they need fast turnaround time. So the only technology that I think makes sense for the clients that I work with is 3D printing technology.
Okay.
Thanks, Jason, for your input there. I guess the sound was not very good, but maybe to recap a bit. There's a gap. I think this gap is mainly driven here.
Yeah, the line is I'm driving, so pardon
Oh, no worries. Let me mute you for a while first. Alright. Sorry. So yeah, I think basically, right, this gap on price, right, mainly I think is driven because of the weak ringgit. Sorry, the weak ringgit is giving a lot of problems with the adoption of the
correct.
Sorry, Hilmi, have to mute you a bit. A bit of feedback. Yeah. So yeah, I think the weak ringgit also is a main factor of the adoption rate, and then to look into 3D print as a viable producer or something you can make something manufacture or trade is mainly because the ringgit is very weak. We find that when we want to build something, it's like, oh, it costs a few hundred, maybe $1,000, but it's still actually much cheaper than traditionally making molds and prototypes like that, as you compare last time. So for those that have been making prototypes from last time, right, they know it will cost them 5 digits, middle range 5 digit to high 5 digit, and now they have seen cost saving of maybe 50% to 60, 70%. So they understand the cost. But for the newcomers coming in, right, that want to use this technology or treatment, they have never seen before how much they have to spend. So they don't know that it used to cost so much money. So for us to convince the new people to adopt the pricing, I think it's a big challenge for Malaysia now. And as Jason has mentioned, finding the right material, finding the right item to use, the right printers to use, right, is also a challenge now because some of the service providers are not available in a directory that people can just search and ask. So maybe that's moving forward. That one, I think that's something we can look forward. For those guys that just join us, right? Just to introduce everyone, right? Hilmi is actually the this year's our inaugural, our first Mama, which is the Malaysia's Additive Manufacturing Association President. Yeah, we just established this early this year. Yeah, so everything is in the process. We have stuck halfway because of the pandemic, because we cannot process the banking now. The bank cannot confirm a lot of things because ROS is not open, so we can't really open. So yeah, so you can see the team here is trying to build things to facilitate, to move forward with the community for 3D printing. So we're trying to get ideas, we're trying to get programs out for everyone. So if you have a lot of things you want to share, please share with us, then we can bring it up during the meeting. We're trying to fast track everything so that we can open the admission. People can join the membership as fast as possible. But again, the banking issues now is holding us back up. Yeah. So yeah, as we move on, I hope Johnson we answer your question there. That it's a ongoing process. We hope we can solve that. Pebblereka strongly agree with Bruce on the man hours. Yep. Then Doc, yes, you need to be in practice for designing. Yep. For customers, you to get 3D trusted source in 3D printing, you look company. Yeah, correct. So we're trying to develop a directory, right, of all this 3D printing. Maybe we can look at not only just industry, we can plan for home users like Prusha. We got the bigger community section, or the one that has the Prusha's printers. Yeah, you can see who are those decentralized makers. Yeah. One thing, yeah, so we will be announcing soon, hope ASAP. What's this? Yeah, the 3D printing page. 3D printing. Any more questions about it? Hi, I'm Janice. I'm a designer. I have product for packaging design. I'm not sure that can use 3D printing for it and the cost. May I ask you comment?
Packaging design.
You can elaborate more on what type of design, product packaging, like what sort of packaging? Is it like box packaging, or is it like the casing that you need those thermoforming?
Yeah, but I think a lot of people confuse sometimes. Packaging design is supposed to be 2D, right? If you design it in the Illustrator, it should be fine. Printing service, not the 3D printing. It's a different thing. 3D, as known as additive manufacturing, is building parts. If you're looking at packaging, normally it's paper box, paper style, right? Can I share the picture? Yes, you can share the picture.
Sure. Actually, I kind of understand what Janice is coming from, because I have clients that's asking to make weird shape packaging. Very weird shape that traditional packaging cannot do. So they want to do customized design. That's why I was asking to do like a sort of like a mold, Yeah. Let's see.
So is the rounding?
The internal thing, is it?
I don't mind. You don't mind? You can share. Open your microphones. So this is not really a packaging, right? You see, you get clear. You got a special shape inside. I saw it's Pebblereka is a paper make or cardboard make flat stain design, and the top case is somehow some kind of plastic. Bottom is round wrapped by some packaging Yeah, this one can consider is a kind of products design.
It is part of the packaging, you know.
Yeah.
It's the design part of the packaging.
Yeah.
So it's not the product itself. It can be done. This can be done using multiple ways.
Yeah.
Depending on your budget.
You need using multiple. Like the top one, you can actually use a vacuum forming or something, and the bottom.
We can clarify one thing. 3D printing, you cannot do clear, transparent thing unless you want to spend much money on it.
Hey, yeah, expensive on that. not suitable for packaging.
But the internal items is possible. The internal possible using resin printing. If it's too small, then resin will be the more appropriate. And there are different type of materials for the resin. You can go some, like again, there are a lot of on Shopee doing resin, right? Very cheap, 30 cents. I don't know how they can make money. Yeah. Again, if you look for people, ask them for their product, their previous works, then you can see how detailed they can produce those items.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce does this. Hilmi also, you guys also do, right? Resin.
Yeah.
So I'm solution provider, so yeah.
I think all of us do resin now.
I hope that answers your question, Dennis. For the more traditional way, you can use laser cut on paper or cardboard, but then it requires a lot of man hours to fit everything together. So if you're going to do like 10, it's maybe going to take you like half a day. Imagine you're going to do it like if you're going to do it 1,000 units. So that's where people will go to 3D printing to print out that miniature things. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of potentials of doing prints. So Johnson says, say no to price war, more to collaborative and support local providers. Yeah. That's the way forward. But it's an open market, you know. It's an open market. Anyone can put whatever price they want to put. Yeah, any more questions, guys? Do you have any more questions regarding, you know, how you see the outcome in the future of 3D printing? To me, I think there's a lot of potential, a lot of hopes that we need to string together, work together, and move forward.
Maybe we can plan together next project, because the PKP one we did with the community, the facial project. So maybe we can, you know, someone can suggest what other 3D printed project we can collaborate and do together.
It can be on a forum on a Facebook page, you know, 3D printing Facebook page. We can come up with something there, then everyone to share. We can get more people, because here only we have like 50 plus people listening in. We can get more people to participate and get more ideas. Yeah. This is a great sharing. I guess I answered your question, Jake. You asked whether it's going to be 2 hours.
Yeah, about that.
About that.
2 hours. Yeah. Yeah, conversations like this can go, because we get a lot of questions. We ask a lot of questions and we answer a lot of things. Traditionally, people will follow a more, sharing and then lesser Q&A. We try to have more Q&A, so at least people have questions. We can try to answer them. You know, we share our knowledge and help build that, you know, community to go forward.
Actually, it was my MOF asking about how long was I going to use her computers.
Yeah. Correct. It's almost, I'm working from home is like that, you know, everything is sharing, you know. This room also I'm using now is my kids' room. After this, I need to go, they need to come in to study.
Study room, nice one.
I don't have workshop here, not like you, Bruce.
This is my house, okay? Don't misuse it. I stay here now. Later people say you.
Yeah, but your house is next block only. So near your place.
Yeah,
I wish I got my workshop next door. You know, there I can just move everything.
Well, this is kind of lucky thing. Well, because I'm so lazy to traveling around, especially I hate traffic jam. I don't like driving. That's why I put there's so many empty shop there. Okay, I'll take one. there's a reason. Then
My last office was about 500 meter away from my house. Now it's just one step away.
Upstairs.
yeah, it is good. It's one of the things that if you work very seriously sometimes. But of course, if you grow bigger, then you need factories like maybe 3D Gen. You can't use it at home anymore. So until certain level, you had to deal with those kind of headache stuff. Move in a big place. Yeah.
There's a question from this Ahmad Allah. Is there such institution that have some kind of official module for 3D printing like other CNC machines? Maybe Hilmi, you want to answer this?
Yeah.
I have no answer for this.
Actually, there is a few companies offering workshop training related to 3D printing. And the training and workshop is actually free, sponsored by Penjana. Some of it is MTDC. So you can try to check in the Facebook. I believe there's few companies doing that. Cubalab, 3D Gen, even Unicel also, they also provide Penjana sponsored program to teach community on 3D printing.
But if you were asking about IKBN, such as IKBN macam offering about car repair, motor repair, that's take about 2-3 months. I think there's no yet.
Oh, those type of We don't have those type curriculum yet lah, right?
Yeah.
Belum lagi, soon to come.
Continuous one, I don't see that. But last 2 years ago, I got some invite to workshop like that. But so far now, nope, and not yet. And a pandemic, you can't really,
really do training session.
I guess this was brought up before during the meeting by the association meeting. Remember by William, right? Stating that there's all these programs that we can actually develop curriculums, different grade, different level curriculums. So yeah, those are in the plan from the association side. So at least you know that there are some plans, not from company but from the association, to come up with these curriculums. You know. So
but surprisingly, most international school, primary and secondary level, they do offer this kind of syllabus which focus on 3D printing.
Yeah, I think if I can add on. Hello, hi guys. Sorry, in and out.
Welcome.
Hello, good job, guys. One thing about you guys, or we all as providers and trainings, right? Sometimes the problem is also we don't have consistent people requesting for it. Once a while, 1 month or two messages comes in. Okay, I want to pay for my kid to learn this, and then after that you have quiet for another few months, right? So that's one issue as well. And then like Hilmi pointed out, international schools, some school curriculum, they have their own little training classes, teaching 3D printing, 3D designing and stuff like that, which sometimes what they do is also they will just go around the industry to ask who can provide that, right? So probably, what we can do collectively or pushing them to Mama or something like that is all these schools or academics come to one single source to look for all these services, and then we all as a community, we can always provide them like, okay, by location and things like that, then it's enough for everyone, right? And it's also helping the students and even the educators to feel a need.
Agree.
Yes, agree. And now, like even the business-wise, the education part, I think only Technicity from Sunway is doing this mainly now.
But I see more and more university they develop a makerspace where people can collaborate.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, lah. Actually, they are all the problem right now is all silo and patches, right? Because like you guys, of course, you all can teach, but then the problem is to set up time and resources and all to teach is totally out of your norm kind of thing. University can do that, but then to connect the community to them is not their strong point also, right? So definitely the ecosystem needed to be more closely.
Yeah, correct. That's why the associations, we are trying to make the association as the meeting point for both sides, with government, with private sector, with the education institution, with the community, with the companies. So it become a focal point to help the growth, the progress and growth of the additive manufacturing, 3D printing in Malaysia here. Because we definitely see that gap, as you mentioned. We hope that we can drive the association to help fill up that gap. That's one of the goals.
That could be one of the problem statement we have to take note.
Definitely. So guys, I think maybe we can wrap up the thing. It's almost reached hours. I give you all maybe 1-2 minutes. We start from Hilmi maybe, then Jay, and after that with Bruce. Like just to do your final sharing of what hopes do you see, let's end it with a positive note to give people the inspiration and positive things about 3D printing and what's yet to come, and then maybe you can do a closing from there. Right, guys? Hand over to you, Hilmi.
Hilmi?
Okay.
Closing,
Closing. So thank you everyone for joining this session. I think after this, Cheng Huat will be organizing more and more webinars. Hopefully he can invite us again for his webinar sharing session. So for SMEs, I wish you all to stay strong. Do a lot of online marketing to promote your businesses. There's a lot of marketing tools. Example, if you are serving B2B, you can use webinar as a platform to promote your business, as well as it's worth to subscribe for MailChimp, although it's expensive, because most of the businesses they don't really look at Facebook or Instagram to check your business offering. In case you have a very large database in email, then it's worth to invest on MailChimp. Other than that, for those who serving the B2C market, you should promote more on Facebook and Instagram so that you can keep your business afloat. So other than that, thank you, Cheng Huat, for organizing this sharing session. Hopefully we will get more and more, this kind of information to be shared to the community. Thank you.
Okay, so it's my turn. Okay, so thanks Cheng Huat for the webinar session. So basically the MCO affecting us more on the downside, but looking at the bright side, it's actually promoting 3D printing business to Malaysia. You see, during MCO, we see multiple channel like TV3, I think Malaysia Kini and all about 3D printing, since we do about the face shield. So on the bright side, it's actually promoting our business, but on the downside, is hindering our services. But yeah, looking at the bright side, still promoting us 3D printing business on Malaysia. So good luck for all those SME, 3D printing especially. Stay strong and do something to survive. Especially to manager, I see your overhead cost is still too high. And yeah, that's all. To you now, Bruce.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for all. Thank you for everyone who attended this meeting. I saw that still got 48 people. Wow, this is a lot for just a chatting section like this, because 3D printing is not that big market in Malaysia, so-called. But a lot of people interested in here. Well, thank you for everyone coming but one thing I just mentioned, like well, I'm always looking for the prepare for the worst and looking for the best. Well, worst thing is maybe the pandemic not going to end soon, but good thing is you always can work around it by, especially in this time, everyone's settled down and the mind is more freedom. They got more time to think on what they're going next. Try to learn more stuff, lifelong learning. You always not learn enough because until now, I don't even, people might think, oh, they're doing these places for so long and it must be learned a lot. But to me, every time I'm on YouTube, because new thing to learn, never end. So yeah, keep learning and keep positive and works around on all your thing. Hope everyone good luck and survive through all this pandemic. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks guys for joining. Basically, the sharing of this session, right, is I think inspired. You know, there's this guy here, you know, Johnson. You know, I saw his post on Facebook at the time he was sharing on Philippine, you know, here and there. Then I was thinking, you know, hey, you know, I got so much things I've gone through, all the bad things and all the good things, you know. Why am I keeping all to myself? You know?
Yeah.
Why the industry need to be so selfish and keep? That's why I was thinking, you know, why not just create something I can share, especially at this period that everybody's so down and thinking of how to look for ways to survive and, you know, thinking of nonsense stuff, you know. That's actually how it started, you know, what inspired me to start is from this fella here, Mr. Johnson. Yeah, that's what pushed me to, yeah. Seriously, bro. If it wasn't for your post on Facebook you shared, I would not have been doing all these things. You know? I think it's a great thing. So what I'm doing is I would like more people to do this, more people to share out more information, because it only benefits both sides, our side and the people. Because why? When you share your information, right, you grow the business, you grow the industry, you grow everything together. And when you grow things, more people will know about 3D printing. It doesn't affect your 3D printing business actually, or 3D printing progress, whatever you're doing. You actually getting more people aware that, hey, there's this industry that we can focus on. Because for one person, right, to take a stone and throw in the sea, it's only that effect, that ripple effect. But if the whole group together take something big and throw, the effect is going to be very big. The ripple effect is going to be huge, and the impact is more. Rather than having 10 people throwing different time, you know, the effort is there. They're doing a lot of work, but it doesn't have the impact. So I was thinking, you know, maybe we can come together, move forward together, and push it all together. So sincerely, you know, the whole project of doing these sessions of sharing is just purely sharing information to everybody and keeping people, you know, occupied, so they don't have those kind of nonsense thinking, you know. You can see a lot of it's depressing. Like every day you see all these cases of people doing stupid things, you know, and you can see a lot of those white flags coming up. It's very sad, you know. So what we want to do is we try to keep people occupied with things, knowledge, learning, as Bruce has been saying, learning every day is you know, getting smarter every day. You know, the channel. You learn things every day. Yeah, learn things every day. Keep yourself pushing forward and forward. The problems will be there, but then you don't learn things, so the problems still will be there. Try to better yourself to improve so that you can always, you know, work ways. Reach out to people. You never know that there's people listening and always there to offer, you know, help or whatever. So yeah, I think thanks guys for supporting this. Hopefully we can continue more of these talks. You know, at least we can reach out to more people on not.
Thank you.
3D printing is just a title, but then it can be so much more. It can inspire other people to do other things. So thanks guys again for spending your Saturday morning for 2 hours, right guys? So we continue again on Facebook there. Maybe we can share some of the links that we have talked about here, especially like Hilmi, you know, you mentioned some things about the training, you know, providers. We can put a list out there on Facebook there that people can link up to those places to look at those free trainings, you know. Right guys?
Okay, all right. Thank you all.
Okay, good job. Thank you.
Stay
very
safe, right, everyone. Right.
Stay safe. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Get your
Bye.
vaccines.
Bye.
Hey, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks again, everyone.